Welcome back. This is Talking Football with the Chief and the Ghost.
And Insidious, of course.
Well, they should know me by now, I would hope.
Well, bittersweet time. It's the end of the regular season, and we've had fun going all the way through. We've had fun being right. We've had fun being wrong. I've had fun throwing in our list and throwing it on my shoulder saying we have no idea what we're talking about. It's been one hell of a good year. But I do want to say that trying to find out the correct day. I think I know it's coming. I forget when. We'll keep you guys informed. But in a few months after couple months after the Super Bowl, um, the XFL is getting relaunched under the Rocks start. So we'll give you guys talking football when the XFL comes around.
That was a bad idea.
Do you have a problem, Insidious?
Yeah, actually, I have something I do want to talk about on today. So, if
What's
anybody
the
watched
XFL?
any of today's games,
Oh,
um, at all, you'll notice a lot of them wore the number three. That just goes to show the love and support that the
hmm
football has on each other.
because it used to be that was just the NFL and AFL. Now just the NFL, but now with the XFL, and now even the USFL. I mean, professional football in this country.
What happens to one happens to all is what I think was trying to say. And the fans at every game showed love to what happened last week. Um, for those that doesn't know,
That was weird. It just
yeah,
My website just restarted on me. Uh,
but for those that doesn't know about what happened, um, you should by now.
oh right, the
Yeah.
just showing the
We didn't do the copyright. We didn't do the copyright claim.
right.
So, but
Uh,
if he is going to show it, we do not own the rights to it,
show
and
what?
I will say it now because you said you were. Why don't we just show it? So,
Show what?
what happened last week
Oh
during the
no,
bowl game?
no. What? Oh, you
But
mean? Oh, yeah. Well, if anybody can really see it,
everybody should
because
know
I
by now.
thought, see, originally when I said I was going to show it, it was before I got all the information. I thought he got because see, I didn't watch it live. Unfortunately, I was out. I didn't see it live. So I actually came into the podcast unknowing exactly what happened. I thought he got a hit.
No,
What
he
I didn't,
tackled,
yeah,
and the
so I
helmet came
actually
in.
didn't see it till after we already did the podcast. So that was on me not having my homework done, and usually I do. So sorry, we're human. But anyway, yeah. So he tackled, he got up, it looked like he was fine, and he just
Fell back,
yeah,
went into
cardiac
cardiac
arrest, as
arrest.
they say, cardiac arrest. And I think it was right that they canceled the game because of the other situation. But what I don't like is that it gave the Chiefs a free ride for the first seed.
Kind of, yeah, because they fouled that game off as a no contest.
Right. Now, I do like how they said that if it comes down to now, the only thing the Chiefs are going to get being the first round spot seed is the bye. They're not getting the home field advantage provided, like I said, let's say it's the Bills versus the Chiefs or the Bengals versus the Chiefs. They said they won't get home field advantage and they'll go to a neutral playing field. So in the championship game. So the Chiefs won't get the home field advantage on that. The only perk they're getting is the first round bye. So, um, so let's quickly just run down the scores. I mean, really, most of the games really didn't matter. It was only like a few that was important. So Chiefs beat Chiefs just dropped out. Uh,
Yeah,
Chiefs
I
beat
think
the
you might have.
Raiders. Hmm?
I think he might have timed out. He's
Oh,
back.
okay. Chiefs beat the Raiders 31-13. Everybody, including our guests, got that right. The Jaguar, great game by the way. I enjoyed every minute of it. The Jaguars defeated the Titans 20-16. Um, shit. I was the only one with the Bucks last week, and I shouldn't have. I did not see Tom Brady. Sorry, choking to the Falcons, 30-17.
I said with the way he played this all year, I was going with.
Uh, And the Buccaneers are going to be the only team with a losing record to be in the playoffs. Which, well,
Hey,
huh?
breaking news actually.
What's up?
This got leaked out earlier, I guess.
Mm,
That I got told, don't know what it is. I didn't research it, but someone told me it got leaked while I was at work.
hmm
That Brady's plans is, if not this year, if he doesn't go to Super Bowl this year, he's going to go back to New England and try to get one more Super Bowl. What? No new opening? Oh, well, you could have told us that.
Sorry.
Um. Anyway, he is going to go back to New England, try to get one more Super Bowl there, and then retire. Wants to go back where he started and retire as a Patriot, and then probably take over Belichick's job. I'd probably imagine.
Screw that. How about how he may just own the damn, be like Elway and own it or GM it.
Yeah.
Vikings beat the Bears 29-13. Um, let's see. Uh, Texans knocked off the Colts 32-31. I don't know who the hell saw that happening. Oh wait, I know who. This is an interesting one. The Bengals defeated the Ravens 27-16, and guess what? Because of circumstances, they play against each other next week. So I have a question. When you play a team and then you don't get, no bye, no nothing, you face them again next week. Do you put your money on the one that already won because they got the morale going into it? Or do you got the ones that just came up a little short and say, you know what, they learn from their mistake, they're going to win next time?
Possibly.
Well, which one are you going with?
Um, Possibly what you're saying is true, but we really don't know until next week.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Panthers beat the Saints 10-7. Fuck me. Now for the three important games that came out of the AFC, the Bills defeated the Patriots, which eliminated the Patriots, and this is the fifth time in Belichick's 22 years as a coach, no Patriots in the playoffs. The Dolphins defeated the Jets 11-6. And the Steelers did defeat the Browns 28-14, but the Dolphins had a better position, so it's going to be the Dolphins going into the playoffs, which I'm kind of okay with. You got to be kidding me. Oh wait. All right. Chargers lost to the Broncos 20-31. Um, Seattle beat the Rams in overtime 19-16, which unfortunately made tonight's game kind of not as exciting because it didn't really matter because it eliminated the Lions before they even had a shot to face the Packers. But the Lions were like, you know what, screw you, we're going to take you guys down with us, and that's exactly what they did. No Aaron Rodgers. Lions won 20-16. Um, Niners won over the Cardinals The Eagles defeated the Giants in one hell of a close game. And you were going to say something about that 20-6 loss?
Disappointed. I mean, come on. We watched Dallas last week come out with a victory that was shocking. The Titans. We watched them go up against Minnesota and destroy them. And then we watched them beat Washington earlier in the season. And then there was tonight where they got embarrassed.
Holy shit.
Just
No,
embarrassed.
do you know what I'm saying holy shit about?
Huh.
This is bullshit. So the winner on who got the most white for week 18 was our guest from last week. And out of the three of us, for the third week in a row, Chief had the most right. This is getting bullshitty.
Kinda.
I mean, it's our podcast, and he's getting more right. Oh well.
Like you say, you don't ever know what happens in football.
I guess not. Yeah, so this is useless.
Next week's
Hey,
gonna
just
be
know I don't watch football that much because I'm working.
Shut up. You just go with your gut.
You're fired.
So, all right. So that means next week is, of course, as everyone knows, it's the wild card round. So there's only 6 games, so we can easily throw our money down to it. I don't know if they've actually said. Did they release the? No, I don't know. Give me a second. I want to know if they actually, because if they did, I want to say when the games are. Playoff schedule. NFL 2022.
Oh, hey, while you're looking that up, I'm going to do something real quick.
You're gonna.
That's right. The official sponsor of Highway 34 Connection, the podcast, is W Energy, a clean energy to help you be better. W Energy. Try it today.
So what exactly is that? Some kind of an energy drink? Because I mean, I'm not trying to be a jackass. I just
Yes, it's an energy drink for gamers.
Interesting.
Damn. Well, I guess we can call that happening.
All right.
And,
so.
oh, wait a minute.
So yes, Chief goes. Maybe.
Sweet.
All right. So for the first game will be on Saturday, January 14th. It'll be 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 Central, at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers.
I'm going for those Seahawks.
Niners.
You're only doing it because of the Iowa quarterback.
No, my deceased Uncle John was a hardcore Niners fan. Since he's
Dude, they
died, they've only made the
destroyed the
playoffs, I
Cardinals.
think,
Come on,
once or twice.
wait a minute. These are two teams I don't like. Oh, fudge me. Both NFC West teams. I'll go with the Niners. All right.
Can we actually talk about this? The next one?
Huh?
I want to talk about that next one.
All right. For the AFC wildcard side, it'll be 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:15 p.m. Also on Saturday night. This week on Saturday, coming live for you from Jacksonville, Florida. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Well, give us your predictions, then we can talk about it.
I'm definitely going with Jaguars, and I say this coming from where they were last year to where they are this year is fucking amazing.
Okay.
I mean, just straight up, it is. They were the horrible team last year. What did they end up finishing? Like 3 and something?
I think they were the worst team last year, if I recall.
Between them and the Jets, yeah.
Like
And
no.
look now-
I know. I think the Jaguars were the worst team. They only had like 2 wins.
Like I said, it was between them and the Jets. I think they had the Jets labeled as the worst team in the NFL.
No, I know it wasn't the Jets. I know that.
Well, it might have been Jacksonville, but compared to where they are last year, and now they're in the wild card round, it's fucking
Not only that, they won the South. They get the home field.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. And for that, I'm choosing Jacksonville.
Chief?
Jacksonville.
I'll go Jags. All right.
And I'm not next. The next one's no contest. I'm just going to say Bills.
Well, thank you, Insidious. AFC. Okay,
welcome.
this is 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time, noon on Sunday.
You're
Out
fired.
of the Orchard Park, New York, it is the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills.
Bills.
I do. Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this. I know the Bills are going to win, but I would love the Dolphins to not win. But I know it's going to be the Bills. Chief?
Bills.
All right. NFC wild card, 4:30 p.m., 3:30 Central Time at the U.S. Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings.
Vikes.
Giants.
I'll go with the Vikes.
You're fired.
No.
Yes. Guess we can't fire you from your own show.
Touche.
All right, next one. Okay, AFC wildcard. 8:15 p.m., 7:15 p.m. Central. So it's Sunday Night Football. Coming out of Cincinnati, Ohio, it is the Baltimore Ravens against the defending AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals.
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 Ravens. I'll go with the underdog.
This one is the Ravens the underdog. All right.
Since you said Bengals first, so they must be the underdog.
NFC wild card. Monday night, 8:15 p.m., 7:15 p.m. It's coming out of the Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm even asking.
I'm saying Cowboys, but Brady's gonna end up winning.
Yep. See, Chief went Tampa Bay out the gate. See, I told you he was going to do it.
I want
All right.
Cowboys to win, but I know Brady's
Give
gonna
me a
win.
second. I'll be right back. If Heidi turned that movie
Does
back
anybody
on
have?
without me, I'm
Did
gonna
you
yell
not
at
see
her.
the score today?
Oh,
26.
mute your mic while you're gone.
She can't.
Oh, I can mute his damn mic. So in case all of you missed last night's stream while he's gone, the ghost was having some internet/phone issues and didn't realize we were live with our trio Honest 50. So whether he likes it or not, this coming Saturday, we're going to run it back. But this time...
Wife said hi.
More or less, I flipped you off, Paul.
Hi, Casey. So this coming Saturday, the ghost will be on Honest 50, whether he likes it or not. And Ghost, while you were gone, I muted your mic, so we have no clue what you just said.
That ain't working.
That ain't worked. I did it.
Like I said, yeah, I got no problem with that. You weren't going to let me watch the football games, though, right? I mean, come on, this is the playoffs. I got to watch them.
Wait, the Rams ain't in it. Why are you worried?
Because that means now I don't got a team to worry about. That way I can just enjoy. Besides, technically, Chargers are from LA.
Really?
They are. Legally, technically.
Note to self, I'm stopping by your house while you're sleeping, and I'm going to throw a pie in your face.
All right.
Listen,
So, I really got
what
nothing
is
else. Do you got
Speaking
anything
of which,
else?
where did I put your house key?
Oh,
All right, Chief. I think we're done with this one. If you want to go on to the next.
So anyway, thank you everyone again for going with us for the throughout the football season. We hope to start up again with the XFL. Hope everybody enjoys the playoffs, and we'll do some smaller podcasts. We'll do one next Monday, and then we'll just do them on next Sundays after the playoff games, and just keep everybody updated on what's going on in the playoffs. So, with that,
I will just go ahead and let everybody know that the video for Talking Football, all I did was combine 2 videos into one. So you're going to have the original intro from this with a few tweaks. But with that said, I'm getting ready to go to bed because I have to be at work at 8, but I got to take my wife to work at 4:30. But Insidious, you had some stuff you wanted to talk about with Veteran last night, bringing it up. What was it? Utah, was it?
I wanted to say
No, that was Lacey that brought that up.
Okay,
Actually,
Lacey that brought it up. Yeah. So let's.
but I had other stuff to talk about first, and I actually would want.
All right. 1 second. Let's cue into that segment real quick.
but before.
Before Insidious and Ghost start yapping, I will say that the new intro videos for every podcast will have a disclaimer in the video, so that video that you just saw with the disclaimer will not be played anymore. Go ahead.
Do you want to talk about what you want to talk about first, or can I just go about my quick one first? Mine won't take long. I guess it's not really conspiracy theory. I guess it should have been under a rant, but whatever.
I can't even hear him anyway. Ghost, I can hear you. I can't hear Insidious.
Somehow my mic got muted. Don't ask me how.
All right.
Go ahead, Ghost.
All right. So I just saw this news article today, and I was reading the comments, and it's going to give me crazy. Now, and she's got a daughter, and so you got kids, and okay. How old would you say someone that's an 8th grader is? About anywhere between 12 to 14, give or take that same frame?
Yeah.
All right. So, story. Ohio. Middle school. 8th graders. 2 girls. They brought a vape pen to school. And after, sharing it, going back and forth, and, one of them said the other one had, one of them said the other one had, they ended up getting searched. They found it. And but one of them got searched all the way down to her B&P. And now the parents are going, they violated my daughter. She blah, 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 blah. Another one to sue this kid, the school about it. Now, and you should see the comments. They're all saying, "How dare the school do this? How dare the school do that? How dare the blah blah blah?" And am I the only person on this planet that wants to know what the fuck is 13, 14-year-olds doing with a vape pen, knowing that those are illegal for anyone under 21? And I'm thinking, not to mention, you bring them to school. And I'm thinking, you're going to act like an adult. You know what? a punishment of adult is you ask them to get searched, and like I get their kids, but if you're gonna play big boy games, then you're gonna get some big or girl. I guess big boy big girl games. You're gonna get some big boy big girl consequences.
What the?
Exactly.
No, my thing is, if it was the police, if the school can't legally make you strip,
No,
police can't make you strip unless your parents are there if you're under the age of 18. Now, the parents, I believe, have all grounds to sue the hell out of them.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm sick and tired of kids playing big boy rules, big boy games, and then upset when they get big boy consequences.
Well, I can understand the big adult consequences, but you're a minor. You're a minor. They should treat you.
Not supposed to be having a vape pen to begin with.
Doesn't matter. I know a lot of kids under the age of 18 that have them.
You know what? I know a lot
Here
of
in
kids
Iowa.
That doesn't you got a lot of people that drunk and drive too. That doesn't mean it's okay.
Where are you going with this? First off,
I do have one thing I want to say off topic.
Mm.
Just because I just looked down and saw what shirt I'm wearing.
Mm.
And this had to be in something that we ranted about a week or so ago.
Nice.
okay.
Where am I going with
Where
this?
are you going with it?
I'm sick and tired of parents being their kids' friends, allowing them to do things that they shouldn't be doing, and then when they get caught, oh, don't just my little baby. They're just expressing themselves. They're just man. I am sick and tired of parents doing the whole, oh, but my kid's only 5. My kid's only 10. My kid's only 14. When they're experimenting. I mean, sooner or later they're going to do something
Okay,
that.
first off, 5 or 10 is too damn young for them to make any fucking liable decision. 14, they're going to experiment. I did. That's how I started smoking. Did my dad try to stop me? Yes. Did I listen? No. So not all parents are to blame. Sometimes kids make their own choices.
I know I'm going to get called an asshole when I say this, but Ghost, don't be extremely mad like I think you're going to be. Until you have a kid of your own, your thoughts are going to be different than what they were if you already had one. Am I right, Insidious?
No.
Depends.
If anything, they're going to be even more strict.
With you, yes. With any other human on the planet, no.
Hey,
With me?
you know what? I had a proud dad.
I know
moment.
how strict you were raised, mister.
Hey, I had a proud dad moment today with Dakota.
Oh, God.
A kid was
What my nephew do?
Well, a kid was bad mouthing his dad, betraying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "So where's your dad at?" And Dakota said, "Well, he's in a tumble. He works a lot." He goes, "Well, at least my dad's in my life every day." Dakota snatched him by the back of the head and slammed his head into a locker 6 times.
That why Taylor called you?
Well, that's what Mary called me, and I was going, "Way to go!"
I'm proud of that kid.
Snatched him right up.
He's like his dad. What have I said?
Mary goes, he panics. He bounced his head off the locker.
He was just trying to paint the locker.
I'm just saying. I get
I'm
it.
Like, he was helping.
I get kids
The kid had a headache. He was trying
There's
to
a
make
difference between.
No, I don't encourage my kids to have violent behavior. I mean,
But I have a question for you. I mean,
He's a
I have a
proud
question.
dad.
If the kid is like 13, 14, 15 years old and they steal your car for a joyride,
they ain't
at
got to worry
night-
about cops.
I'm not talking about cops. I'm just talking about they take your car out for a
I'm
joyride.
using this as an example. If it was my kids, The cops is where they're going to be safe. Because when they get home, my belt's meeting some ass.
But that's my point. I mean, you just said like a while ago that kids are going to experiment. They're going to do this. But at the
There's a
same time,
difference between experimenting and being stupid. That's being stupid.
taking something that can be
Doesn't belong
considered
to you.
I know nicotine is not considered a drug, but taking something that you know you're not supposed to have at school to school is stupid in my case, and then you get pissed off when people catch you about that.
Hey, first off, I have been smoking since I was 14. I took cigarettes to school every day.
Yeah, and
I
if I
skipped
recall,
class
that's
to
trouble
go
when you get
smoke.
caught.
I skipped class to go smoke.
Exactly. Is
And
this something that you'd encourage your kids to do?
if they're actually, I am taking a different approach than what I did to my dad.
You ever heard the phrase "do as I say, not as I do"? I mean,
Yes,
we all make
my dad
mistakes.
smoked. It isn't about what he did. To me, I grew up, my dad smoked, my mom didn't, but I grew up around the family of smokers. So you grow up into that. You think that's what adults do. They drink coffee, they smoke, they
Dude,
cuss.
I
That's
don't
what
buy
you
that.
see.
I don't buy that one bit. My
Really,
parents
because
both
that's
drink
why I
coffee.
started.
My parents both smoke, and I don't do either one.
Like I said, it wasn't just my parents, my whole family. My grandma, my great grandma, my great grandpa, my aunt, my uncles, they all smoked. So when you're raised around that, you see it. You say
I get it.
you think this is how adults act. They all
But
drank
hey,
coffee. They all
this guy right
smoked.
here was around my house all the time. He can damn verify if my parents did have a cigarette in their hands. He's going to start asking some questions.
Mrs. Ghost smoked. Mr. Ghost smoked. Or Mrs. Chief smoked. I'm referring to our parents here.
And you
Uh,
smoked.
no wonder I started smoking.
But
My
I
point.
didn't. So what's your point?
The point is, you're your own person. You had the
That's
right.
exactly my point. But the point is that the
But
problem
I'm
is when
telling you
you
why
encourage
I
kids to
did it.
yeah,
Why
but
I
you
started.
yeah, but when you encourage kids to make adult decisions, and then all of a sudden they have to okay, fine. I'll change the subject for a second because
No,
not too
don't.
long
I'm
ago
kind of curious where you're going.
I'm
Stay
going
on.
okay, okay, okay. Not too long ago, and I'm going to find the article and I'll share about it because I wanted to rant on it a few weeks ago and I completely forgot about it. Kid, 14, 15 years old, had sex change surgery.
Oh, God forbid. That's where
And
parents should say, fuck
and
no, get
then
your kids some
guess
mental
what?
fucking help.
Now that same kid is wanting to sue the hospital for doing that to him. When I'm thinking, why? You're the one that wanted it to do, and they're like, but I wasn't old enough to make that decision, and now I can't live with what I did to myself. I'm like, well, no shit. And I'm sick and tired of kids making adult decisions, and then when the adult consequences comes around, they
Hold
act like
on.
little kids again. It's
Hold
like,
on.
no.
No.
You were told not to do it. You
No,
did it
here's the
anyway.
thing.
Pay the
Here's the thing.
price.
Here's the thing. Why'd the parents do it?
Why the parents do what?
He had to have parental consent
No, they
to
don't.
have the surgery.
No, they
Yes,
don't.
you do.
No,
Yes,
they
you do.
don't. No,
At
they
that
don't.
age, you do. At
In
that age,
certain
you do.
states, you do not.
In California, you do. And if that's where you're thinking that's from, he had consent. I guarantee
You
it.
do not need consent to have sex change after a certain age. I'm telling you, it's a new
Who's
law
going
now.
to pay for it?
This
Who's going to pay for it? The state ain't paying for it.
that part's a good question. I have no idea.
My point. The parents had to sign. It had to have been their insurance.
I'm told the parents didn't know.
Oh, they had to know.
Either
They
way,
had to. Somebody
point
paid
is,
for it. But the point I'm making is, where are the parents at with this shit?
exactly my point. You have so many parents
kid
these days that want to be their kid's friend, not their parent.
I'm using this as an example. My kid is identifying as a woman, and I'm here to support him, but he's really a boy. Okay, go get that motherfucker some damn help.
My dad would say, "Go get that motherfucker a belt."
No, go get him some fucking help. Same way with these kids out here that say, I'm a fucking cat. I'm a furry. I can't pee in a toilet. I got to pee in a litter box. Okay, first off, if you have a litter box in your house for your child, your ass needs to be locked up for child abuse for not getting him some fucking help.
See, and now you're blaming the parent.
No, I am.
How about
For
some
real.
individual personal
Because
responsibility
it
around
is
here?
a psychological behavior.
Because it's individual responsibility as well.
But my cousin is schizophrenic.
Uh,
Is that her problem or is that her brain's problem? She has to seek help. It's the same fucking way if a person believes
true,
they're
but
a
if
damn
she
cat.
was to, yeah, but if she committed a crime, then or did something stupid, I'm going to say
Well,
go
that's
to,
the
go
same.
to jail.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, if a kid honestly has a fucking mental problem and thinks he's a fucking cat and he needs to piss in a fucking litter box instead of a toilet, he needs some damn help.
Or he needs to grow up and quit thinking that, I don't know, playing imaginary friends or something. I don't know. The problem is parents stopped being parents at about like 20 years ago. And
Yeah, but
now,
this shit's getting way out of hand. My son identifies as a cat. I'm gonna take him outside and let him use a big litter box.
because parents are their friends and not their parents, as I'm telling you.
The only thing I have ever told my kids is that if you're gonna do something and you want to experiment, you tell me first. Because I would rather them, if they're ever going to experiment with marijuana, I'd rather them being able to do it with me to where I know it's safe, it's not laced, I know where to get it from, and they're not going to get hurt.
So now you're intentionally going to give a minor marijuana.
My son, my daughter, yes. Because if they get it from a friend, who knows what the fuck it's laced with? And
Or
then it can kill them.
how about
And
instead of doing that,
that's
how
what
about
you
you
call
say,
parenting.
don't do it?
Because kids are going to experiment. I did. It's
Just
called
because you
knowing what you
did
get.
doesn't mean they should. See, that's the problem. People.
It's called live by experience. I made bad decisions. I don't want my kids to make the same ones. My biggest thing was I didn't go to my dad. I want them to know they can come to me with this.
I
Don't
understand
hide it
that.
from me.
That
The
part I
biggest
get.
thi-
That part I
See,
get. I'm on board with you.
My
on that.
kids, to me, the biggest disrespect you could do is doing it behind the parents' back.
That
I don't
agree
want
with you.
them to do
I
that.
agree with you 110%
If
about
they want
that.
to, if they
I'll
want
agree
to
with you.
smoke, fine, do it in front of me, but don't do it behind my back.
But the first, I would hope you would start that sentence with say, "I would prefer if you don't do this."
Well, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it anyways. Especially if you say, I prefer if you don't. That just eagers them more to do it.
So then, what
And
the
that's
hell?
in there.
Okay, well, then what the hell? What the hell? Am I just like super special here? I mean, because I was told don't do drugs, don't drink, don't smoke. I haven't done either one.
You didn't hang around with the crowd, I did.
Dude, I hang around with this guy. Trust me, I know what the crowd is.
I have a video just for this.
I am not. How? How do you? You know very well how I was raised. You know I was told the same things that any other parent would tell us. Right? And my parents were hypocrites. They drank, they smoked, and they probably did do marijuana back in the day because who did it back in the 70s and 80s?
Well, let's get them in here and ask them.
I'm sure they did. But the point is, it doesn't mean I have to. By telling people that it's okay for people to just
I'm not saying it's okay to do it. I'm just saying it's okay not to have your children do stuff behind your back because it could be worse if they
you
do.
make it seem like those are your only two choices.
If you had a son, and let's say this, you had a son,
Hmm.
okay, he decides to come to you, and you say, well, I prefer you not to do it at all. And then he goes out and decides to do it with a friend who has it laced with, well, what's the highest drug nowadays that's killing everybody? It's laced with it. He ODs, he dies. Then what the hell do you do? Because your last thing you told him was you didn't want to pretty much hear it. When you could have been the savior.
So instead, I should give it to the minor.
Weed is illegal regardless. If you're going to give it to a minor, it's the same penalty as handing him a fucking beer. But the only difference is it's my son, and I have that right.
I don't think
look
you're
at my
allowed. I don't know
kid
if you're allowed to give your child marijuana, regardless.
I had a prescription to give my daughter THC edibles for her
That's
ADD.
different, and you know it.
For her ADD, ADHD.
That's different.
No, it's not.
And
It's
you
still
know me,
THC.
I am completely agreed to use it as medicinal usage.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Why do you think I did it in high school that no one ever noticed? How I became from an F student to an A student.
Look, if it's proven that it can actually help the mind and medicinal usage, I'm all for it. But there is a difference between that and what you're suggesting.
It's still THC. It doesn't matter. What you're saying is an edible and smoking it are two different things, and they're not. It still causes the
You
same
do
effect.
know Ritalin for kids that have ADD or ADHD is a form of speed, right?
I was on it.
Right.
I know what
But
it
it's
is.
also speed.
But I
Fuck
liked it.
Ritalin.
I like it.
I agree. Fuck
It's good
Ritalin.
shit.
But the point
Especially
is,
at 20
it's still
milligrams.
speed.
Boy, you were high as a kite.
That doesn't mean I'm going to go out there and find a junkie and get myself a big dose of speed. See, there's a difference. If a drug is being used for medicinal use to help somebody, then I agree with it. There is a difference.
All I'm saying is that.
Well, here's a
I
question.
think that-
Here's a question. What kind of a parent isn't keeping an eye on their kid when they're going out and doing things like this?
Exactly.
I don't know about you, but my parents
Exactly.
knew where I was every second of the day.
My dad didn't.
They didn't know about me either. They thought they did.
No, that because when your parents didn't know where you were at. My parents sometimes did.
Not always.
My dad just told me to check in every hour. I rode on my bike, walked indoors, said hi, Dad, bye, Dad, and left.
But you also said check in, right?
Every hour.
Right.
I never told him where I was going.
So you didn't do that.
I just said hi, Dad, bye, Dad. Walked back out. Right back to my girlfriend at the park.
I get kids will be kids. I get they'll make bad decisions. I get that, and I do agree with you. I'd want them to come to your parents, talk to you about it. But there has to be a better way to encourage better behavior than just say, "Yeah, here you go."
If
It's
you
like-
tell the kids today not to do something, they're gonna fucking do it.
I did it.
See, here's the thing: you're saying kids today. That's
Dude,
no different
it was
than
our
kids today
generation.
30 years ago. We
It
did
was
the
our
same
generation.
thing.
It was our generation.
Right?
Dare. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what introduced me to marijuana, cocaine, heroin, all of it? Dare. I never even knew what the shit was until I was in Dare, and then we get to high school and we're still talking about it. Now you have spiked my interest. Now I want to do it. I got to know what this feels like. Why is everybody addicted? So I experimented.
You ever know why the word they call it addicted? Because you turn to a dick.
And you know why it's called Dare? Because I dare you to go do it.
Touche. I just think parents these days are.
I just think the school is too wrapped up in it, just like they're too wrapped up in politics. They're too wrapped up in this whole furry thing. They're too wrapped up in the transgender
If you ask
fucking
me, there's not
bathroom.
enough fathers in the home, but that's.
And we are too wrapped up with science going, there's more than one. Speaking of which, can science find any way to spend more money than to try to come up with more than one gender in the fucking world when there's only two?
So you mean more than two? Quit saying more than one, because there is more than one. There's two.
That's what I said. They're trying to come up with more than two. Gender bodily fluid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Gender waterly fluid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I love these people. Have you heard these people on YouTube? They are the most funniest fucking people you'll ever hear try to talk.
And then when somebody with a brain actually challenges them,
and there is Ben Shapiro, believe it or not,
or Charlie Kirk.
Oh, I love listening to Ben Shapiro fucking drill him.
I love him.
I would like to get him on the show.
Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, yeah, you're always invited.
Definitely. Elon Musk.
Candace Owens.
Her too. Nancy Pelosi, just so I can see you hold a flag and cringe.
Dude, she would cringe about the flag behind you.
You need to take that down. That should be more for Insidious. Just saying, it's more freaky for me.
Anyway,
all we're saying is kids should have a right to make their own decisions, but parents should not go too far to not listen to your children. If they
you're
are
absolutely
wanting
right.
to
I will agree with that.
experiment,
Communication
you
is
need to
key.
communicate and,
Yeah,
and don't
I would agree with
discipline
that.
them for coming to you.
Mhm.
Because if you discipline them for coming to you over drugs and something major has happened in their life, they're going to think they're going to get in trouble with you and they're never going to want to come to you again.
I get that. I do. I really do.
I remember the first time I got caught stealing and they said that they were calling the cops. I wasn't worried about them calling
I have
the
a
cops.
question, Insidious. Can I ask you a question?
Huh.
Your 16-year-old boy comes home and say, "Hey, Dad, I just got someone pregnant."
I'm going to kick your ass. That's what I'm going to
Why? He was experimenting.
Yeah, well, he should have been experimenting on how to wrap his dick.
Come on. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. You know, I use the car analogy with my son. Have you ever heard of the car analogy?
Yeah.
The Tim Allen version?
Yeah.
Sex is like a car. You keep the car in the garage for a long, long, long time, and when you bring the car out, think car cover. You know what? I did wrap mine. I just missed the last 4.
Where is it? Where is it?
But now back to the real rant here I had. I've
You earned
just
that one.
begun. Okay, now changing topics. I have one here. This is I do not own rights to this, but it's kind of something I wanted to bring up because it's fucking weird. And yeah, I will share screen this. And I don't know how many people is going to like this, but I wanted your guys' input on this. So please feel informed to comment.
U.S. used to be the biggest melting pot in the world. But in case you haven't noticed, the Democrats seem pretty determined to make America racist again. So they're implementing a rule effective today. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Asian, you need to ask your crew for permission, probably in writing, before inviting a white friend over for dinner.
What?
Now, you're probably confused about this, and I was too, until a woman who calls herself the Sriracha lesbian explained it.
What?
Virtual opinion, but if you have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. Ask for explicit permission from everyone, because just because you're comfortable with them doesn't mean that everybody's comfortable with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another
What?
into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person. Don't give them that card to use against other people.
The U.S. used to be the biggest melting pot in the world. But in case you haven't noticed, the Democrats seem pretty determined to make America racist again. So they're implementing a rule today. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Asian.
Oh. So yeah, there you go. Let the discussions begin.
What? Oh boy.
Now, we are white, so let's start this discussion. Ghost, you start.
I got nothing. I
just want to know what white shenanigans are. Somebody enlighten me. I'm a white guy, but I really don't know what white shenanigans are. I mean,
it means that we can't. Oh, it means that Please don't say yes sir or no sir to the police.
Okay. Fair enough. And ego? I always thought egotistic was somebody who flaunts pride about themselves. Chief says he's going to bed, not the tribal chief. LOL.
Hey, Chief, we acknowledge you.
But Chief, I was really waiting on your input on that. That's why I wanted you here for this one. But if he's going to sleep, then yeah. But
yeah, he's a tired
it is.
boy. He's a tired boy. Think you gonna say that?
Oh,
Shut up.
Oh.
Shit it.
He went there.
Yeah, well, that's the only joke you can think of.
Fuck you. Damn straight I went there. Good night, folks.
Good night, Chief. He'll still be lurking in the background.
F you.
Boys and ghouls of every age. Wouldn't you want to see something strange?
We did. The Chief.
Anyway. Or so seriously again. You know what? I was actually going to save this rant for another time. I mean,
What?
I was going to save this rant for another time. It was. Dude, I suggest you stop that one. Anyway.
Okay, you were saving this rant for another time.
Yeah, is there really white systematic racism? You know, like white supremacy, or what do they call it? What do they call it? Where whites are automatically empowered no matter what. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, the thing that gets me is, okay.
Or is it just really the media just trying to turn us against each other?
Well, I was until I saw that video that people actually do think this way, that white people are the devil.
Well, I have a question for you. Well, here's the thing. Why is that? I want you to take a look around. I want you to take a look at actual society. I want you to take a look at the world.
What about it?
Take a look where each race is either the majority or in control, and take a look at what's going on in the place.
I told you I don't stereotype.
I'm not stereotyping. I'm
You're telling me to look at the world and look where things are. I'm not in people's heads. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, and I don't want to. I have a hard enough time being in my own head.
Fair enough.
But all I know is,
all I know is this.
From a logical point, for me, is I look at any person that's around me, and you know where I work, you know where Heidi works. We see tons of different cultures, tons of different races every day. And I look at all of them the same.
I do too.
People.
But here's the thing. They would say that you're a racist for doing so.
What, for looking at everybody the same?
Yeah.
They're just people. They all breathe. They all talk. Yeah, so what? They talk in a different language. When I was younger, it used to bother me. But now, not so much, because I've learned so much about different cultures and different religions and stuff that it doesn't really bother me anymore. What does bother me is the fact that us as Americans have not learned how to accept it.
There is a difference between accepting it and them telling us they're trying to force us along with it.
Like what? How?
All right. They always come to us and tell us to respect their culture.
Like who?
But and I'm just making an example. I'm not going to
Like
throw
who?
names under the bus. You want me
No.
I'm not throwing names under the bus.
Hold on. Are we talking about their government or the people?
Can
Or
I
our
please
government?
finish a thought?
I'm just saying, if we're gonna call it how we see it, I
I
have never
am
heard.
calling it how I see it.
I never heard a Spanish person come up to me and tell me I need to learn Spanish.
No,
I've heard.
no.
I've heard our
They don't
schools
do
say
that.
that. I've heard our schools say that. I've heard.
But you've never had any. You just said yourself about respecting culture, right?
Yeah. What is our
But
culture?
here's a question. Why should we respect their culture when they won't respect ours?
Well, what is ours?
American culture.
But what is it?
You don't know what your own culture is.
Enlighten me. Because you know what I see our culture?
Hmm.
Not from what we see in history books.
Dude,
Our culture is evil, bro. Straight up.
all cultures are evil.
Bullshit.
Well, not shit.
Jewish people believe in peace and prosperity. What the fuck do we believe in? Look at our damn country. You can marry a fucking cat, we got a woman marrying a fucking tree.
That because other nations, they deal with that shit.
No, they don't deal with it. It don't happen.
No, I mean they deal with it their own special way.
It don't happen.
I have a question. I got a good question for you. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to what I said in a second, but I got a question for you. Define good.
They're happy.
Define good.
They're happy.
Who's happy?
Anybody.
No. What is good to you? Like a good deed. Like what is good to you?
I don't know. To me, somebody picks a pencil, I pick it up and hand it back to them. They say thank you, I say you're welcome.
All right. In Iceland, they kill Down syndrome children.
Because they think they believe if they reproduce that it'll make much more.
And they also think because they are disdain on society, they are doing society a favor, and they believe that it is good in the long run. Now, the question: do you think that is good or evil?
Well, that depends.
On what?
Like you just said, define good and evil. Our views
Exactly.
and their views are two different things.
But by saying that, yeah, but that's my point. Every single culture, every single race has blood.
We don't
on their
have
hands.
to accept what Iceland does. We don't have to accept what Greenland does. And they're not asking have you met one person from Greenland telling us accept what we do? No. Because they're here because they don't accept it.
Fair enough. But then why exactly do we have to respect their culture when they don't want to live in it?
Who's asking us to? Obviously, they're not. They're here. Who's asking us to support their culture? Nobody. Because if their culture was worth a shit, they wouldn't be here. And our
That's what
culture
I've been
is far
saying.
worse than their culture.
That's what I've been saying. The problem is that we don't get away with that stuff.
Bullshit. How many kids are we slaughtering before they're born? We're making an express lane. And they're perfectly healthy.
Yeah, well, that goes back to the whole that topic. Do you have anything about that?
You got to admit, I'm right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you're right. I'm saying what the problem is. People look at the Americans. Oh, they're the big bad evil white Americans when they don't actually sit down and do some damn research and realize every single race, every single culture, every single religion has blood on their hands.
Yeah, Christians have the most.
Really?
Yep.
Christians or Jews?
Christians.
Jews have a lot of blood on their hands.
We have more.
From what? The Crusades?
Yep.
Dude, that was all three religions.
The Crusaders believed they could kill in the name of God.
Really? You mean like join Allah, infidel? You mean like that?
No. The Crusaders believed that
I
if
know what the
anybody,
Crusaders believed. I know.
if
I know the
anybody
history book.
cursed, adultered, they could kill them in the name of God and live. But do you know what the problem is about that? That's using the Lord's name in vain. You cannot do that.
I'm just saying. You're telling me Muslims never kill for Allah?
Allah, who cares? That's their boy. That's their God. That's two different gods to them. You go up to them and you ask them what their God is a part of Christian God, they will slay you.
Exactly.
So I don't care what their God is. For all we know, is theirs is the magical sun god coming down.
My point is, you act
He
like
just
we're
had
only the
Barabu
ones that
Ra.
killed during the Crusades.
All I'm saying is the Crusaders have more blood on their hands, and they called themselves the Christian Crusaders, which put Christians in a bad way ever since.
Join us or die.
Now we're going to Catholic.
Every single religion is guilty of doing that.
All I'm saying is you can't have one culture without looking at every fucking thing. Our culture is by far the worst
just
in the
like the
world.
culture where it's now okay to marry a cat.
Welcome to the United States of America, people. You can marry a goat.
Mm.
And you know what? In somewhere, there's a Catholic church going, God would love you for that.
Is that before or after they read the book of Leviticus?
Not before, after they realized that's why Sodom and Gomorrah was fucking destroyed.
Look, I'm trying to keep this conversation away from religion and politics.
No matter where you go, it's going to go there because it's even in the Bible. Even they had it back then. Look at the Jews. Jews were killed.
And what did they do to people that acted like that?
They killed them. Stoned them. Most of the time. But regardless of what we're going with here, racism has been around a very, very long time, even in Bible time. So the point of any, and you know what? I'm going to quote an actor who I actually is one of my favorite actors, Morgan Freeman, made a statement. How do you end racism? He was asked that question. You know what his response was? You don't talk about it. It wasn't there until you brought it up.
I agree. And this is what I was going to say earlier. When you get children, a white kid and a black kid, they will play together. They don't know racism. They don't know anything. All they know is, hey, this kid's cool. That's all they care about. It isn't until you, or not you, Robert, you as a society, breeds hate into them. And where does that usually come from? The media.
I have a question.
What's that?
What's a community?
A group of people.
What's a community?
I would say a group of people.
Mm.
A diverse group of people in a certain area. Why?
Because growing up, I never heard of a lesbian community, a gay community, or anything else. I always heard of a community as where I lived, the community of where I'm living.
Yeah.
Okay, so how in the hell did these people get their own special fucking groups?
How if I know?
And call it a community. Okay, you want them in a community? Fine. I'm pretty sure there's an island off somewhere. We can put you all there and you can have your fucking community.
Oh, well.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
I was actually joking. I know it didn't look like it was.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's like,
I don't care less what anybody is or isn't. It isn't.
I don't either, but here's the thing. It's like, why?
I just don't want to push down my throat.
Why do parents breed these things into their kids? Is my question. You have black folks telling their black kids, "Hey, stay away from the white man. They're dangerous crackers or whatever they call us."
Hey,
why?
Hey, if you're gonna call me a cracker, add super at the beginning.
Shut up.
I know, for real. If you're gonna call me a cracker, call
My
me
point
saltine
is
cracker.
that
Put super
why
at the beginning.
why even have the hatred at the beginning? Why can't you tell, hey, get along with the white guy?
I have a question.
Hmm.
Okay. I am the most diverse person I think in this fucking world.
Oh, well, aren't you don't well doesn't somebody think highly of themselves?
I do. And you know why? Because you can
Pride.
call me a fucking honky and I don't give a fuck. You can call me a cracker. I ain't gonna say it again and I'll kill you. I'll gut you. I'll kill your family if you say that word again. I don't care. I just don't care.
I think it comes from a
So
lack
what
of
I want to know
self-respect.
is how did this
Personally,
N word get that big, but yet a racial slur to a white guy is we just don't give a fuck.
that's exactly my point. Is that there's hatred that's being bred, and it starts at the home. It really does. People have lost self-respect for themselves because there's no respect in the home.
Now, I do have one thing to add.
That's that.
Why do they disrespect themselves when they call a white boy the N word?
I don't know, man.
Do you even know where I'm coming from with that?
I do.
Because to me, when you call that to a white boy, you're asking me not to say something that you say, but yet you're going to call me that. And yet you yell at me for saying the word, but yet you're going to call me the word you don't want me to say. You're disrespecting yourself.
I just said it all rolls down from lack of self-respect, and it comes from no respect in the home. That's how it is. It's just how it is, plain and simple. Because let me tell you something. Do you know which? I mean, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. We may cute. Um, sorry, I just noticed what the chief shared. Um, has blacks been treated unfairly in some of the decades? Yeah. But guess what? So has Asians. And guess what? Asians are the richest culture in this country. It ain't the whites. Now, why is that? Because we're not they're not they don't breed hatred as much. They have more self-respect. They have more respect in the home. They have more respect in their upbringing. I'm telling you, it starts in the home.
Does it or does it start in our public schools that want to tell us about our fucking history that's
You
happened?
already have an idea of what you're going to act like by the time you get there.
You have an idea of how you're going to act by the time we're there, but we're already being brainwashed by the time we're in fucking grade school.
Exactly, by our parents.
You can't blame everything on the parent.
Hatred, I can.
Really? What is the first thing you learn in American history? Go ahead. What's the first thing you're taught? Slavery. So yeah, them kids are already hating us because of what they're being taught. And then you want to add American history and everything else in there.
Who, slavery. You know what? I'm going to say it. Guess what? Whites have been slaves. Asians have been slaves. Hispanics have been slaves. Irish people have been slaves to the English. There has been every single culture, every single race has been a slave at one point or another.
But it didn't happen in America, and America's going to make a big deal out of it.
And do you know what? It may have been, but America was also the first one to end it.
Uh-huh.
Because our forefathers wanted to end it. But they say...
Okay, Chief, go ahead. Do what you got to do. We'll be right back.
Whatever. Look.
Which one?
Probably both of us. He's great. Now Chief's playing with his stuff. forefathers wanted, but it took them time to do it. It took them a couple hundred years to do so. The forefathers wanted to end it. I mean, you're talking about because we still had a country to build. We still had a war to defeat. We had to defeat Britain not once but twice. It took time.
Maybe
war.
they just gave us tiny screens so we can't see the cage.
You're talking about the newest nation, the United States of America, where the other nations have been around for thousands of years. This was the newest nation, and we got rid of slavery within a couple hundred years. It took time. Not even 200 years, like 1776 to 1865, 100 years.
But yet,
not even 100 years.
But yet, most
it
of your
took
companies,
time, but we were the first ones to do it.
But yet, most of your companies work you like you're in a prison.
Go
ahead.
But it's voluntary.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. I can use my place of employment for an example.
Then quit.
You get a 15-minute break, but technically you only get 10 because by the time you get your gear off and get out there, you're down to 10 minutes.
Quit.
I'm referring to your wife's department.
Quit.
Tell her that.
Quit.
And she's going to tell you to fuck off. So, because we make good money, we will put up with it.
But that's the thing. You're making money, so technically you're not a slave. Slaves didn't really. They're lucky if they got a couple of coins here.
No, but when you're being lied to about how long your break is, instead of like you're supposed to have a 30-minute lunch, you're only getting 25 minutes.
That's a conversation for a different time. Point is,
no, it's still.
You were talking about slavery. So we can talk about slavery. I'm just saying that every nation has had it. Every race has had it, and we were the first ones to get rid of it.
Technically, a prison after a penetration camp. That's what prisons were made after. That's where they got the fucking idea. Which was from Germany, known as Hitler, when he had his German penetration camps. The U.S. saw an idea on how to make a prison out of it.
Sure you are, Chief. Anyway,
looks like you're still lurking.
Look, I really got nothing else, so we're just going back and forth and saying the same thing over and over.
Not really. It's an agreement in a way. Because if you really think about it, prisons are ran like a penetration camp, and most of your big corporations, like where I work and multiple other places they are
prisons don't pay you $20 an hour to work.
Businesses? What are you talking about?
The place, concentration camps or whatever you just said, they don't pay you.
Point. You're missing the point here. The point is they are designed the same fucking way. They're meant to pay you, but they're meant to break you physically and mentally.
So is the military. Your point? I'm just saying.
You're a fucking civilian. You're not supposed to be treated like a fucking animal. And honestly, the place I work worships the fucking meat more than they worship the employee.
Fair. Well, because the meat's about to die. I'm going to give them some less rights.
No, they do that. Warn a motherfucker before you say some shit like that. I about blew my cigarette clear across the fucking room.
I get your point. I get your point. I do, but the problem is you can't compare slavery style work to actual slavery because you're getting paid, and you can leave anytime you want.
It's not the point.
I get that's not your point, but I get what you're trying to say. I just don't think it's a fair comparison.
I wasn't comparing it to a penetration camp. I was comparing the penetration camp. That's where they got the idea for the prison. The prisons we have in the U.S.
I get that.
They took that same psychology of the prison on how they treat their inmates. They put that into your everyday life as a production worker.
I get it.
That's what I was getting at.
And I get that. And I get it. Oh, man. We went all the way. We went so many places today. Whew.
All right. Makes good television.
Are we going to have anything for Tuesday night? Shit.
Oh, fuck yeah, we are. We still. Oh, speaking of which, we have another one to talk about. Utah.
Can we? I gotta get back to my wife. She's made dinner. Can we?
No, this is a sneak peek for Tuesday. Utah.
right.
A man slays 8 people.
Oh, I heard about that. That was horrible.
Yeah, it is. But
What?
the conspiracy will start as
All
I start checking into it, which I will start tonight. Well, tomorrow. Because it's already 1:02 and Insidious needs to get to bed. Because my wife is waiting.
Oh.
And I don't plan on sleeping out in the cold. So Insidious has got to go.
So we end this thing with this one now.
Yep.